To reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
"30 years of joyfulness." Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol, Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams. And coming up, another attack on police in Boku, as one of them is ambushed and shot in the arm last night in what appears to be a targeted attack.
Last night, there were some other attacks apart from what we heard in the afternoon, which involved the burning of the private residence of the divisional police commander.
Well, this incident comes amid renewed clashes in the area as the API's Regional Security Council reviews curfew hours from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. with security personnel on the high alert. Also this afternoon, the majority and minority in Parliament divided over whether or not the immunities of Asin South Member of Parliament in Timfordjo has been breached following the raid on his private residence in connection with his recent drug trafficking claims.
So don't think that as a member of Parliament, you can engage yourself in conduct and think that parliamentary immunity will cover you. It will not.
I don't understand why government is defying such arrangement with Parliament.
Well, there's more unfolding as the minority calls on the Speaker to uphold the immunity of the Asin South NP. Also coming up, the President's nominee for KMA receives overwhelming endorsement by Assembly members as the regional minister charges the Mayor to prioritize investigations into issues surrounding the Kejitere market and to take decisive steps towards decongesting the city.
Located here definitely is a key area. Ayoloni is a key area. Metro Man is a key area that I expect him to look at. Definitely sanitation issue in the city is also a key area.
Ghana looks for solutions to the country's power challenges. The Joy News National Dialogue takes a bold step to unpack ECG's crisis and chart a sustainable energy path for Ghana.
Are we able to make that key decision that the service delivered by ECG is an economic service? For that matter, ECG is supposed to pay dollar bills or generation when it comes to power generation in the country. What goes into it?
And for our Throwback Thursday, we examine the evolving significance of men's hairstyle in Ghana.
Social media has a huge influence on barbering because many a times when people are coming to trim their hair, they will bring their picture or they will Google it.
You want to stay around for details, these and more with me, Maame Nyamekye Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. Now there's another attack on a policeman in Boku late last night as he was ambushed and shot in the arm. This followed renewed clashes on Wednesday morning that resulted in the death of one person and left at least two others severely injured. Now the private residence of the municipal police commander was also set ablaze during the violence. This afternoon, security personnel are on high alert following the renewed clashes. The Upper East Regional Security Council has been working around the clock to prevent further escalation. It has reviewed the curfew hours imposed on the Boku municipality from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Maxwell Agbagba of our security desk joins me with more. Maxwell, give us details of the review of the curfew.
So this is a statement from the Interior Ministry signed by the Minister Buntaka Mohamed Mubarak, and it says the Minister for the Interior has, on the advice of the Upper East Regional Security Council and by executive instrument, reviewed the curfew hours imposed on the Boku municipality and its environs in the Upper East region to 6 o'clock p.m. From 6 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. effective Wednesday. Wednesday, that was yesterday, April 9, 2025. Government calls on chiefs, elders, opinion leaders, youth and people of the area to exercise restraint in the face of the challenges confronting them, as well as to use non-violent violent means to channel your energies into ensuring peace. Meanwhile, there's a total ban on all persons in the aforementioned communities and the environs from carrying arms, ammunition, or any offensive weapon, and any persons found with any arms or ammunition will be arrested and prosecuted, Mamusi.
Thank you so much, Maxwell. Well, joining us now is security analyst Dr. Victor Doke to help us understand the issues better. Well, from your security perspective, what does the targeting of police personnel and infrastructure in Boku suggest about the nature and the evolution of the conflict there?
Number one, good day to you and your. Now, what it means is, one, the people do not trust the security service in Boku. Why do I say so? They may have ascertained or realized that the security apparatus in Boku are engaging in activities that would seem, or for them, they see it as supporting one side, which will not be tolerated, especially if you have some activities which, from the perspective of the security agencies, which are geared towards peace building, and it is not done with the right state institutions leading this charge, then you would have either of the sides read meaning to it. But the attack on the state security means there is a strong mistrust. And this is very critical. It's very, very dangerous when you have the security personnel who are in there to protect life and property, to enforce curfews, having to deal with mistrust from the people. Then you trust that there is an entrenched position that has been taken by the youth of either side. And to achieve peace, you need trust with all stakeholders, which the security apparatus is included. So far, the main approaches have been what? Curfews, renewal of curfews, enforcing curfews, patrolling, and then enhancing personnel in the area.
Right.
Who is leading the charge?
I mean, looking at the dire situation, what strategies should the security agencies adopt to de-escalate the tensions?
Come again with your question, please.
Yes, I'm asking, looking at the dire situation, what strategies should the security agencies adopt to de-escalate the tensions there?
Most importantly, they should ensure that whatever activity or event from their side geared towards or aimed at fostering coexistence between the two sides should be done with reference to the fact that there's a state institution, either the National Peace Council should lead that charge or civil society should lead that charge, so that the youth will not interpret ill motives behind it. They should stay neutral as much as possible, enhance the security, collaborate with all stakeholders, including the grassroots supporters in the area itself. By and large, what are we doing with regards to resourcing the National Peace Council? What have they done from the time we heard the president went there till now? We haven't heard anything.
Right, we're so grateful for your time, sir. Dr. Doke, security analyst there. Now, moving on, Parliament is divided today over whether Asin South MP Reverend John Intim-Fojo's immunity has been breached following a security raid on his home. Footage of security operatives believed to be from National Security storming his house has gone viral. The raid was reportedly linked to his recent claims that Kotoka International Airport may have been used for suspicious drug flights to Gran Canaria Island in Spain. In response, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyomakin suggested the raid may have violated Mr. Fojo's parliamentary immunity.
The speaker has a directive, and this was agreed upon with the security agencies, that when members of parliament are needed for any such matter, they write to speaker, the speaker would arrange to release a member, and then in the speaker's conference room they can do the interrogation or whatever they want to do.
Well, we have the minority leader on the line with us. We're grateful for your time, Mr. Afenyomakin, but what is the latest with the issue of Mr. Intim-Fojo and the NIB?
Well, thank you and good afternoon. I think yesterday we had plenty discussion over this matter. The conclusion was that a letter will be conveyed to Speaker's office, which later I'm reliably informed is gone. So the known procedure will be followed, and we take it out from there.
Do we know the whereabouts of Mr. Ntimfodjo currently? How is he faring?
Well, he's been with me since morning, because yesterday the early understanding was that as a leader of the caucus, I would ensure his appearance at the NIB. So he's been with me since morning. We had a caucus meeting to discuss this matter, but we must say that what is happening is not good for the image of the country. Sometimes the hawks who are supposed to be kept on the fringes are allowed to come into the center, and all they do is to harm the gains we've made in our democratic journey. Apart from what is happening, many others in our party are facing all forms of persecution in the name of accountability. We are not against accountability, but due process would always require that the right thing as known is followed. The old saying that if all men find a man's hand in a tail, his guilt must be proven, is still very valid. And I would want to encourage our colleagues to add their voice to the voices of reason out there that are saying that government must follow due process in all that it wants to do. The situation where a member speaks and the next moment somebody is warning him, threatening him, should not be part of our democracy. A member caucus has raised a concern. Government has explained its side of the story. If you disagree with the proposal that there should be a bipartisan committee, if you disagree that there should be a commission of inquiry, so be it. You are a government. But you don't now, through your agents and through your officials, threaten the member and put him through such trauma. I think that we don't need it. And I would again call on His Excellency President Maame to call these hawks in the government to order. We don't need them.
Right.
You know, if you see all the plans that have been hatched against the Chief Justice and all, we know what is going on. But we'll make our views known at the right time. We don't need it. We don't need to create certain impressions of ourselves. And I'm cautious. 4 years may be far away, but may be near. We should end this vicious cycle as a political class and focus on the real issues of governance so that the people would benefit from it. If we get power, we act in such a manner, thinking that by bringing down your opponent, that would, raise your image, or that is what the people want. Another form of let the blood flow, another form of PNDC, arrest.
Mr. Markin, I don't think it has gotten there yet. But you have said that
it doesn't need to get there, my dear. Well, you may humbly, respectfully hear my views. It doesn't need to get there, but the signs are clear. With the greatest respect.
Exactly, I understand you.
The signs are clear, and I am saying that we can do better. At least yesterday, we reasoned together. And let me commend the authorities. When I reached out to them, they listened. And together, we have gotten to where we've gotten to today.
Right.
So let us allow due process. One day, you may be out of power and you'll be calling for due process.
Well,
and that is my message to my colleagues.
Great. Mr. Markin, so you have said that you have forwarded a letter to the speaker. Until then,
please don't misquote me, madam. Please. I mean, quote me right. I haven't said I have forwarded any letter to the speaker. I said the authorities have put their request through to the speaker.
Well, we understood earlier as well that the minority was petitioning the speaker about this issue.
You are saying two different things here. My submission was to the effect that the authorities are following due process. You know, your media has put out there that I made a promise to get him there at 10 a.m. this morning. It's on your website. And I'm saying that I have become aware that the authorities have resorted to due process and have conveyed a letter to the speaker.
Right. So
we await the necessary protocols to be triggered.
Until then,
we, however, also petitioned the speaker yesterday, which is also true.
Have you had any response from your petition?
Until then, what? You were saying
until then, you resist arrest of Reverend Ntim.
No, there's nothing like resisting arrest. The authorities themselves have resorted to following due process. In other words, they de-escalated, they pulled back yesterday after we engaged them. And they have resorted to following due process. It's not a matter of resisting arrest. Mr. Ntim did not resist arrest. And there's no issue of resisting arrest. We were concerned, and as a leader of my caucus, I engaged them and pointed out the law and the protocols. And they agreed to following the due process, which they have initiated. So we await.
All right.
The protocols being followed. That's the point, please.
Right. Thank you so much, Minority Leader Mr. Afenyo Markin there. Meanwhile, the majority is fighting back as the majority chief whip, Roxy Nelson Dafiamakpo, tells Blessed Soga on Upfront on Joy News that Mr. Ntim cannot claim parliamentary immunity, especially when his actions fly in the face of the laws of Ghana.
Chief Dafiamakpo was a sitting member of parliament. He was arrested. Honorable Susu was arrested. He was a sitting member of parliament. Ama Kofi Bua, he was arrested and restrained. He was a member of parliament. John Jinapo, he was arrested. His house was cordoned off with over 30 armed men. He was a member of parliament. Honorable Kwamina Donko was arrested in his house. Over 30 policemen and soldiers cordoned off his area. The sitting attorney general, he was arrested. 30 armed men went to his house. We were all members of parliament. They didn't raise breach of immunity in our favor. Suddenly, when the shoe is on the other leg. So don't think that as a member of parliament, or as an elected representative of the good people of this country for any of their respective constituencies, you can engage yourself in conduct that offends Act 20 now or any other penal provision.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, remains central to powering homes and businesses across the country. But in recent years, the utility provider has come under intense scrutiny, grappling with persistent power outages, mounting financial difficulties, and aging infrastructure. Tonight at 6 o'clock, the Joy News National Dialogue will put the spotlight on ECG, bringing together stakeholders, experts, and policymakers to unpack the challenges and chart a path forward to a more reliable and sustainable electricity supply.
ECG has a total liability of 13 billion from supplies. Demurrage alone, because the transformers have been sitting there, by the end of 2024, demurrage 1.5 billion. They sell these containers, these cables that ECG needs. After the supplier has been paid, they sell the container and then people resell back to ECG.
Let's all assist the minister, because we all need to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of where each container sits. And I think it's just a matter of all of us, including ECG, including the two state agencies who are in control of the port, have a proper sit down.
Because
it's worse in this area.
We experience it at least 5 times a day. It flickers on and off within hours. As barbers, we come and we are compelled to go back home. It's really affecting our work. Jumso is definitely back. We are losing our items and all this heat. It's better they take the light than flicker it.
And joining me now is editor Elton Bobby, who will also be hosting tonight's discussions. Elton, we know the importance of having the lights on and how the recent challenges have been on everyone's hearts. But tell us, what has pushed Joy News to take a keen interest in helping find the solution?
I think we've heard enough. We've heard from President John Mahama, we've heard from the Energy Minister, the Finance Minister, all singing with one tune that ECG is not in the best of places.
Right.
So we want to find out what really is going on. We want to, what is the state of ECG as of today? What systemic failure keep ECG in crisis? What institutional reforms, key policy interventions, and leadership change that are needed to turn things around? We also want to explore the role of private sector participation in the operations of ECG. Remember, there's already a proposal before government to consider. We are also looking at the leadership and the governance structure of the ECG. These are some of the things, and then ultimately look at the way forward as far as ECG resuscitation is concerned. So we will be assembling current management of ECG, powers, independent power producers, interest groups to find a solution to ECG's troubles.
And I bet you don't want to miss that, because I'm sure, Elton, you'll be taking concerns from our listeners as well through phone lines and through text. Well, joining me now is also Fred Smith of our editorial desk to tell us some updates on the ECG issues.
Well, as we speak, Maame, there's a news conference happening in the central region. The Public Utilities Workers Union are opposing proposals for the privatization of the Electricity Company of Ghana. That's one of the proposals that have come up in the solutions to address the challenges of ECG, and the workers are saying they are opposed to it. We'll bring updates later.
Right. Thank you so much, Fred Smith. And you're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break. We'll return with sports and also tell you, looking beyond fashion, we examine the evolution or significance of men's hairstyles in Ghana.
Social media has a huge influence on barbering, because many a times when people are coming to trim their hair, they will bring their picture or they will Google it.
Where did I? Now I don't know when I just saw. Obiang, what's the chrome ha? And to want to say Petrosol for energizing drinks for motion. Hey boy.
Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you, oh.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more Super. And the Polytank, we did Polytank. Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank, the original, always the best.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth, because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kel, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Midday News. And news just coming in, we're hearing that Majority Leader's house it has been set ablaze in Boku. But we'll keep an eye on that and be bringing you updates on that. We have sports right about now with Achu.
Hi, Maame.
Hello, Achu. What's up?
And you know that whenever there is a new government, its appointees tend to gravitate towards persons of the same political orientation, often relegating to the background, experience, and individuals who may not agree with them politically. Well, the former Olympic or outgoing Ghana Olympic Committee President Benono Mensah says this approach will be problematic and is advising Sport and Recreation Minister Kofi Adams to run an all-inclusive ministry.
It's very difficult when we want to do sports and look at it with a political glasses, a particular lens. It is very dangerous. As a nation, the only thing that unites us now is sports, especially our black stars. And then also, if you look at international sports structures, they try to take away government's influence or government involvement in the sports structures. Because what could happen, or what will happen if you too much politically involved or politically biased in sports? If there's a change in government, it means that the sports structures have to change. And that kind of pushes our sports back. It doesn't give us the kind of consistency that the IOC wants.
Yeah, that's Benono Mensah, outgoing president of the Ghana Olympic Committee.
Thank you, Achu. Now, President's nominee for Kumasi Mayor Richard Ofori Ajiman, popularly known as Ken Zuba, has been confirmed by Assembly members. 55 out of 56 of them voted in his favor. The nominee is the first MMDC to be named and confirmed in the Ashanti region. Mr. Ofori Ajiman is an experienced politician, especially in issues of local government, having served as Obuasi MCE for 2 terms. We can hear from the regional minister.
We also consider the agencies as far as the KMA issues and then the PZ fire issues are concerned. I want to thank my MPs on the other side, I mean within the metro constituencies, for their support and their call on their various assembly members to come on board and support with their confirmation.
Well, men's hairstyles in Ghana have long been about not just looking good, they also carry deep cultural, social and personal meaning. Jennifer August dives deeper into this in the following report.
Across Ghana, the trend of men exploring diverse hairstyles is growing. Some opt for classic low cuts, while others embrace dyed hair, locks or braids, long or short. From the days of Afro in the 1960s, Ghanaian men moved to jerry curls, which was made famous by American R&B artists. Then there was the high top fades, which shows a total shaving on the left and right sides of the hair. Mark Gates attests this, indicating how many of his clients now visit her shop with images of hairstyles of icons, celebrities and mentors whom they desire to look exactly like.
Yeah, I think now social media has a huge influence on barbering, because many a times when people are coming to trim their hair, they will bring their picture or they will Google it and show you. One of the days we used to have this posters in our shop that they will come and choose, but now since there's a media that they have access to, so they just go into the picture or someone or a celebrity and they will show you that, oh, this is the kind of hairstyle I want.
Perhaps one of the most expressive ways to communicate one's personality is through a hairstyle. That's why many are ensuring they couch the narrative properly to avoid any misinterpretation. Jennifer August report read to you.
Interesting report there. Well, let's do the trends now. And Jackie is with me. Jackie, do you have any special like for any men's hairstyle?
Not really. The whole faded haircut is actually nice.
You don't like the braids and then the haircut and
I don't.
It's not bad. What's in the trends?
Well, lots is in the trend. Arsenal is still trending after their win against Real Madrid. People are still talking about it on social media. And there's a Nigerian TikToker in Ghana. He's trending. Pella. He's trending on social media. And also...
For what reasons?
He's in Ghana. And it looks like Shatawale is hosting him. A lot of people are talking about it, that, you know, his fans don't get access to him, but someone just comes and he has access to him like that. So people talking about all this on social media. Yeah. And of course, too, medical is trending just because Alabaster Boss, they've sued him. He has a new song out, and he took 10 seconds of the song, you know, welcome that part, and they are not taking it lightly with him.
Of course.
So he's being sued for that. People talking about that, if it's in the right direction or not.
Thank you, Jackie, for what's trending, and that's how we wrap up this afternoon's bulletin here on Joy 99.7 FM, also live on Hits 103.9 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and all our various affiliates across the country. Sponsored by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. I am Maame Nyamekye Thompson. Living Word is up next with Pastor Mensa Otabil.
Joy 99.7 FM.